it's Lucy Brand here. I just wanted to share with you today. I've just got back from a networking event, a women's networking event down here in Brighton, and I just wanted to kind of talk to you about it, and my experience of networking. But yeah, this week for me has been really intense and really tough. The beginning of the week, I just was feeling very anxious, and there's been quite a few tears this week as well. But apparently, according to the lady that I watch her videos at the beginning of every week to tell me what's going on astrologically speaking, it has been a really intense week. She was saying, like, be prepared for an intense week. So I've definitely felt that, and I don't know about you. If you felt that too, then just give me some thumbs up or some hearts. But yeah, so with that energy of it being an intense week and focusing on my energy levels as well, I have had to cancel a couple of meetups with some friends and stuff because I wanted to focus what energy I did have this week, on my business. So yeah, today I just came back from a networking event in Brighton, women's networking event. It was brilliant, and it's so beautiful out there today. I did try and do a Facebook Live on the beach, but it didn't quite work because my signal wasn't strong enough. But I did do a little video which I'll post below this. It's just spectacular out there today and really sunny, even though it's November. But the networking event. So my previous experience of networking events, when I first started out in business, they said, like, the thing to do was go out there and network. And naturally, I'm an introvert, so I would much rather stay at home and not go out. And also, I find it, I'm okay one-on-ones where I really thrive, or maximum kind of 5 people. But when it gets bigger than that, I just find that I can really go into my shell, and I really struggle with it. It's not the best way for me to be around people. Even with friends, with large groups of friends and stuff, I'm the one that's normally sitting there quite quietly, just listening. So networking events are really outside of my comfort zone when I first started out. And to be honest with you, I hated them. I absolutely hated them. But I believed that, like, this is the way that business needed to be done. This is the way that you had to get clients. But when I started out, which I did as an online marketing mentor about 4 years ago now, it was in the realm of, we were still in kind of the masculine. So it was very much kind of in terms of masculine paradigm. So in the terms of things, it was very much sell, quite cutthroat, dog eat dog, and I remember being at one networking event and just loathing it, like trying my best, but just loathing it. And this guy came up to me and he was just like, so what do you do? And you could just see he was sizing me up in like 30 seconds. And then because I work with women and I was an online marketing mentor and that wasn't what he was looking for, it was like, okay, right. And off he went. And it was just, I just shrank. I just shrank in that environment. And but I kept at it. I tried it for a whole year. Because, I felt that this was a skill I needed to learn, and this is how you do business. But yeah, it didn't work. It really didn't work for me. And if anything, it just made me lose my confidence more and more and more, which then led to me losing my confidence in my abilities as well. And yeah, it just wasn't very successful. I'm going to share this. I went to, so I live in Brighton, which is very, it's very open and cosmopolitan, and it's a great place to live. It's a really great place to live. But I remember going to a networking event, a big one. It was like 8 a.m. I'm not the best at morning people. And it was talking, everyone was going around the tables saying what they did and stuff. And I remember said to this one guy, I'm an online marketing mentor for women. And he was like, oh, well, I'm sure like not many men like that, because they like their women kept in the kitchen, chained to the sink. And I remember I was just like gobsmacked, like absolutely gobsmacked. And still to this day, I'm not sure if it was a joke that went really wrong or what it was, but I just was like, well, that's your opinion. But I don't think everyone has that opinion. And then I just left. But yeah, and I was really surprised that that's what I was up against as well in Brighton as well. It was just like, wow, I thought this place was a bit more open and yeah, just a bit more open. So I kind of went into a hidey hole. And the thing is, the way I am and being an introvert that I am, it's easier for me to sit behind a desk and be on social media or send out emails or all those kind of things that don't allow you to physically connect with people. And this isn't great. If you work from home and you have your own business, it could be really isolating. That's something we were discussing today. It could be really isolating. And so you kind of need that connection. But it needs to be in a nurturing environment, I find, because if it's this push, sell, this kind of thing, it's just going to shrink people, and then you can't see their gifts, because people aren't going to shine in that environment. Not just me, but I'm sure there's many other people that environment just doesn't work. But luckily, we are shifting out of that, thank goodness, and we're moving into the age of the feminine. So it's a lot more about connecting. It's a lot more about nourishing. And I don't know about you, but this last year, so this year in terms of the Chinese New Year was the year of the rooster. So it's all about waking up. And I know lots of women who have had awakenings this year in terms of they've shaken up their relationships, they've shaken up their work, they've shaken up all kinds of stuff. And the rooster's you wake up to what's really going on and make changes. So it can be, I think a lot of people have had a year like that. And we're entering the age of the feminine. So what I've noticed is groups of women popping up all over the place. Particularly down here, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. Is it's just wonderful, it's amazing. So the first one I went to was a few months back here in Brighton again, and I was really nervous because I was taking with it my old concept of local networking and just being like, oh, I don't know, this isn't, I'll try it again, but I'm really nervous because I just, I know what I do, I'm really good at what I do, but still the big groups of people. I went along and it was transformative. It was amazing. It was this really safe space to be, and it was women entrepreneurs or business owners, and it was beautiful, and it was led by a lady called Nikki, which I'll talk to you about more in a minute. But when on my first one, the first thing she said we were asked to do is stand up and hug the person next to you. And I was like, what kind of business networking is this? This is from are you going to get used to me? Stand up and hug the woman next to you. So I did, and I was just in that moment there where I received this hug, I hadn't realised how lonely I was, how craving contact. I have friends, I have my moon sisters, it's not that, I've got an amazing husband, it's not all family, all of that. It was something to do with, I think, being held and seen by another woman who has her business. I think that's what it was. I still don't know to this day, but it was really powerful. And I just was wow, I haven't realised how much I needed that and how alone and isolated I'd felt. And that was the start of the change, basically. And I've also been going to another thing here in Brighton, which I think came out of the first meeting of that, called Inspiring Talks Brighton, and that's just been amazing as well, where people come and share their stories and share their experiences. And it's not once a month, on a Thursday evening, I think. And every time I've gone, like, I'm literally wide-eyed till 2 a.m. because I'm so inspired, I can't sleep. But once again, like, some people have mentioned or spoken about some quite potentially challenging and triggering things, or very, very difficult things for them to express. But people have just been held and supported and loved in these environments. And once again, people talk about the work that they've done and stuff. And then yes, today, this one was actually labelled a networking event, and I went along to it, and it was wonderful, because once again, we just all have cups of tea and we were just talking, but it's about connection. It's not about selling or pitching. It's just literally about sharing and connecting. So what I want to do is I want to invite you, if you've had really scary experiences like me years ago about local networking, then it's time to just put that to a side and find some events in your local area which will be to your taste, to what you're looking for, because there really is a movement at the moment with more of these events that are connecting people together and just sharing stuff, and that's really, really important, like so important. Now, if there's not one in your area, why not start one up yourself? Why not start a group up yourself? I know, as I mentioned before, so the first one I went to is run by a lady called Nikki, and it's called The Hub. And she's got plans this year to roll it out. She wants to roll it out nationally and globally, I think, because it's just magical, the power and the transformation that happens there. So yeah, like, I can put her details below and contact her. If there's not one in your area, why not start one? Because I just think people coming together is just so, so powerful, but not in an aggressive, trying to sell you stuff way. Just have a cup of tea and just talk and connect from the heart, and just because that's when you're relaxed and when you're connecting with people, that is when you will truly shine. That is when your passions are going to come out and everything, and you won't feel nervous, you won't feel under pressure or anything like that. And that's when you can give to other people as well, when you're in that environment. Okay, so I think that was everything. Let me just check my notes. Yeah. So, that was the other thing. I think now as well, we're moving out of competition. So it's not like sell and competition and all that person's doing this. We're moving out of that, which is amazing again, because there's no need to compete. We're not in, like, everyone's different. Even if you offer the same services, it's going to be delivered in a different way. I have a story about that, actually. So one of my mentors, Marie Forleo, who you might have heard of, I don't know what she calls herself now, business coach or something, but I was watching one of her videos, and this was years ago, and she said that her husband was trying to get her to do juicing, like smoothies or something, and she was just like, yeah, whatever, and not listening to him. And then her best friend said to her, like, oh my gosh, you've got to try these smoothies, like, in the morning. She's like, wow, that sounds amazing. and so she told her husband about them, and he was like, that's what I've been trying to tell you about for the last 3 months, but you haven't listened. And she's like, oh. And so that's what I mean. So even if you, like, offer the same services as someone else, the way you deliver it, the way you are with it is going to be totally different to that other person. So there's just no need to be in competition, like there really isn't. So yeah, that's it from today. And like I said, it's been a really intense week for me. So to be honest, all I want to do again is get in my pajamas and get into bed. But I think I've got a couple more work things to do, and then that is definitely what I'm going to spend my Friday night doing. But I'm wishing you a lovely weekend and sending you lots and lots of love. And I will post the hub's details and Nikki's details below. If you don't have a kind of business meetup for entrepreneurial women in your area, I'm thinking of starting one. And if you're not at that stage yet, then just go out and see what events are out there that you could possibly go to. Oh, sorry, I've thought of something else. Another thing I did is when I really wanted to just meet women for me, like I just went on Eventbrite, because Eventbrite is actually an amazing search engine for events. So I've mentioned before Meetup, which is one, but Eventbrite as well. And I found some amazing ones. There was one that I went to called the Womb Network. Oh, it was beautiful. Like when I arrived, like the lady that was running it just gave me the biggest amazing hug, and hugs. Love the hugs. And then once again, lots of women shared their amazing stories and inspiring stories, and it was just a really loving environment to be in. And most of them, I think, had their own businesses as well. So yes, Eventbrite or Meetup, or just get out there and start connecting with people, so that you don't feel alone and isolated, and you don't spend too much time in your head making up stories. Okay, so lots and lots of love. Have an amazing weekend, and I shall speak to you soon.